What's poppin'? Um, welcome, welcome to Cafecito time. Both minds. It's 8:10 in San Carlos. Heading to work. I'll be doing some repair work, a lot of random stuff, a lot of handyman work is what I do. Um, but my main trade is drywall finishing. Um, yeah, that's what I do. And I've done drywall since like right out of high school. I was already doing drywall with people that I grew up with, all that good stuff. But anyways, so y'all gonna be my passenger. You know, every morning I got a ride. Like depending on where I go work at. Like right now, I'm going to Pine Island. In Pine Island, from where I live in San Carlos, it takes me about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I always, jump in my car and always be thinking, and now I'm just gonna be thinking out loud, you know, what goes through my head before getting to work, my stress, what I stress about, you know. So, I mean, life, life is what you make it. Well, like ESPN said, life is what you make it, homie. And I love life for the most part. I love it. Sometimes there's times where, it can get a little uncomfortable. Like right now, I just passed this cop, and it's like, oh shit, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I have a driver's license, you know, but you still kind of feel that, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that was just because when I was younger, I was a dumb little kid, and I got in trouble a lot. Now at 43, I mean, at 43, even though in my head I'm thinking like I see a cop, I'm like, whoa, like just because it's like a natural reaction that I created when I was young and stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to change that with my kids. It's just the way I see it. And a lot of times we as people we don't know. Not all the time. I think all the time. I think that we we because a lot of us say, well, we don't care what people think. Okay, fair enough. You don't care what people think, but we kind of do, though. You know what I'm saying? We show, we present ourselves to the world, dressed a certain way because we kind of do care what people think. You know what I'm saying? Especially in whatever it is that you do, for money, for work, you somewhat dress, appropriately, right? Or accordingly to whatever it is that you do. So, for instance, if you're a lawyer, obviously you always gotta be wearing a suit and tie because it's just kind of what represents who you are. Me, like I said, if you see me, I'm in gym shorts, a t-shirt, drinking my coffee in the morning, and because I know all I gotta do some repair work in some people's houses. There, these people are kind of older in age, So I dress comfortable, and like that's kind of where I make my money, serving the people that they have money. That's the main thing. Motherfucker, if you have money, what is it that you need? I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? So today, I believe that I'm replacing some trim work, some trim around our room, and also these people want two ceiling fans, if I'm not mistaken, replaced. So it's a lot of little stuff that I'm gonna be doing today to kind of make up for a day's worth of work. You know what I'm saying? Like I almost got a job. Today's what, Wednesday? I almost got a job um, in a company as a carpenter, and the rates here are fucking crazy, dude. Like what they're paying hourly. I'm like, I talked to some people, and they offer, what they offer, 20. The most I got offered was 23 dollars an hour. I didn't look around a lot either. I just kind of like, I went on Indeed and I found a few places, and based on that, that's kind of I was like, bro, I was like, I talked to somebody, I was like, you know, what rent is right now? And he was like, I said, bro, I said, this dude I was talking to, he offered $18. I said, the the rent right now, bro. Damn, man, I got a cop behind me. Same cop. I fixed. I know I had one of my brake lights. It was out, but I fixed it. I hope, but I had already fixed it, and it went out again. So I fixed it again. So somehow it keeps coming like se funde la chingada. So what was I gonna say? So anyways, um, so yeah, I got it. Like when I was looking for a job, I mean, what they pay hourly in order to make a couple of $100 a day. I mean, for instance, $23 an hour. I have to work 9 hours a day, and those 9 hours, what I'm saying, like they still gotta take taxes out. So, I pay my own taxes. That's 1099 at the end of the year, and I find that a lot better than paying taxes on a weekly basis. And when you have a job, they take taxes on a weekly basis. When they take taxes on a weekly basis, it's a lot. It's a lot. So in order to make $1,000 a week, I mean, how many hours do you have to put in? At $22 an hour. Now, granted, a lot of these jobs that I kind of reached out to and talked to, they told me that they did tell me that they have what do you call it? They have oh, there's a car right here next to me. Like I'm looking at y'all and I'm looking at him. All right, peace out, y'all. Uh, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about that too. I was gonna tell you, but he got behind me. He got me on the front. And I ain't doing shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? I got a driver's license. Everything's legit. But it was something that I just created when I was a young dude, and I was an idiot. Thinking thug life was the way to go. Anyways. So going back to the pay rate. Some of these jobs that I talked to, they did tell me that there was room for growth, and then one of them told me that the top guys are making 35 an hour, which 35 an hour is what someone should be making here in this area. Like someone that, per se, someone that knows what I know, right? Someone that knows that has the experience that I have should be making $35 an hour. In order to only work, let's say, 45 hours a week, I'm not even gonna put 40. That's it. Well, let's say 45, because 45, you're literally doing 9 hours a day, and I think I'm willing to do 9 hours a day for $35 an hour. Well, bro, when you're telling me you're giving me $23 an hour, think about that. You know what I'm saying? How much do I have to work to make $1,000 a week? To bring home $1,000 a week. How much do I have to work? Rent. If we have a car payment, which we do, bro, a lot of people have, especially like there's two, me and my wife, right? Between the two of us, there is at least one car payment. Okay, it should happen, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I should have bought it first. Look harder to buy some cash. I fucked it up, but you know what? I have an excuse for that. When that happened, I was coming at the end of child support. I started making money, and I became what they call nigga rich. You know what I'm saying? You come across money, and you just feel on top of the world. That's what happened to me. I ran across the money. I feel on top of the world, and I got the. But you know what? I don't regret it. I don't. I mean, it sounds like I do because I said I should have bought some cash. So that's gonna happen again. So I take that back because I love my suburban, and I love it. And I think buying that suburban when I bought it with my like my kids, like it goes perfect with me and my kids. I think everything kind of fell into that, and so you know what, I take that back about saving up and buy some of this stuff. Now that I have my suburban, I'm gonna finish paying it off, and now I know that I need to save up and get some cash. Oh, who knows? Maybe I'll buy something small on credit because I am building on credit, and that's awesome too. By the way, growing up, no more child support, building on credit. You know what I'm saying? Actually being able to, you know, the freedom of actually being able to go rent a car whenever you need it or whenever you want to. Like a while back, I rented a Tesla just to fucking drive it around. I gave it to my wife so she could go pick up her mom and some shit. That right there, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have the credit that I have now. It's just fucking badass. Badass. So, anyways, so going back to the employment situation. So, yeah, so these past few days, man, like, because I did get slow. Like, I didn't, like, I did work one day last week. I did one batch, and, when I do a batch, I cut it out, I put it back together, batch to make it look like nothing happened, and paint it. I usually charge 350, but this lady, my wife knew, so I gave her a deal on charging 300. It was by the house, so after buying material and all this shit, I probably paid about 220 for that day, right? Which again, I brought home 220. If I'm working for a company to make that 220, how many hours do I have to put in? Now going back to the $23 an hour, at 10 hours, that's $230. 10 hours minus taxes, you're probably looking at about 210. There you have it. Now that's the catch, though. To find those jobs when you're self-employed. And when you are self-employed, there are times where you get those every day. You even get two of those a day because you just have, look at this guy. This guy's so cool. He just passed me. Oh, this other guy's so cool too. Oh God, look at this. He just passed me. And he's in the turning lane, going all the way down. Good job, guy. You are so cool. All of you are so cool. Look, be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be that cool, so I'm just cool. In my own right. Whatever, but anyways, where was I? So that's okay. I was at the catch. So we're talking about the employment. So that's the catch. Finding those jobs. How do you find those jobs? And can you find those jobs where you're gonna have a steady base? So in 2025, in 2025, in the beginning of the year, while trying to set up some work, I probably in the month of January, I probably took 1 week off, and I wasn't necessarily stressing because I was kind of setting some stuff up for the next week. I actually turned work down. That's kind of where I was at, so I set some stuff up. I got it into a company at $20 an hour, 40 hours a week. At $20 an hour, 40 hours a week. I tell you this, I brought home less than $700 a week. Motherfucker, how are you supposed to pay or live on that? And the people working there, I was like, wow, man. They have a certain type of people working there because they're making $20 an hour. That's fine. To each his own. To each his own. It opened up my eyes, right? And the thing is that I was only doing that because to fill in like time. Like there was other things I was doing, so I had enough time to have a job. And so I had that job just so I can do something for that month because I was doing something else. And that's what I found out, right? So I took my money. Yeah, by the way, the last week I worked there, they didn't even pay me because I just kind of say, no, what I'm out. And they didn't even pay me, which is fine. I mean, well, when I say the last week, I mean like, I think like 3 days. I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, I was just like, I just can't do it, man. Like, fuck, I'm out. And they were trying to bribe me with a company vehicle where I didn't have to. So that's how those people that work there was happy about having a job because one of those cats lived in Naples and then driving to Fort Myers. He didn't have to worry about that. But I saw him every fucking day stressing the fuck out because he had to pick up his kids. He didn't have to pay gas though. He didn't have to worry about gas. And anyway, so I mean, to each his own. To each his own. Like if sometimes you know, some people don't know anymore. So anyway, I almost took that $23 an hour job because I was desperate. Last week I didn't work, but that one day I just said, and this week I worked yesterday, and I'm working today. And like I said, I almost got that job. And then because the dude was telling me, here we're gonna be working 45 hours a week, and then there's a lot of room for you to move up, and one week you're gonna be 40, at least 45, and next week, like on a, one week 45, and the next week 50 to 55, and next week 45. So it'll be never less than 45, which it sounded all right. You can bring home a decent paycheck, which it wasn't bad. I thought about it, but I feel like catching these little, side jobs, something to work for. And like right now, it's 8:30. I'll probably be there around 9. Probably work to about 3, 3:30, and then I'm out. You know, so hourly wise, I'll make way more here. If you cut it down to the hours. Because at the end of the day, I really can't put in more than like, because I can stretch the job to 8 hours if I wanted to, right? And that's kind of what people in companies do. You work for a company, you work hourly, you know, you get paid, right, say 25 an hour. You finish the job at noon, you know what I'm saying? Like, say if you go in at 8 and they finish by noon, that's only 4 hours. And so, and when you're working for a company, and I know this because I've been there, a lot of times, all right, so now what are we going to do for the next 4 hours? Because you need to bring home at least 4 hours a day. Now, that the company makes way more for that job, and they're going to profit, whatever they're going to profit. I've been with companies, with supervisors, that be like, all right, man, we done. Everyone get to go home, and you get the rest of the day paid. Some people do that because there's nothing left to do other than fucking sweep. But some other motherfuckers will literally sit there 4 fucking hours and sweep the same area for 4 fucking hours. There's that, and there's the other guy that, all right, guys, go home. Thanks for your service. You got 4 hours. Hell yeah, the company gets the profit more. Look, man, I think, in my opinion, none of that shit, none of those guys are wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's up to each individual to sign up to whatever job that fits you best. So if you work for a company that does that or one of those things, if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. And like I said, we're all free to do whatever the fuck we want. And everything that you do, every decision you make, remember it comes with, you know, I don't know if the right word is consequence, but I mean every action you make, every action you take, every decision you make comes with some type of not necessarily a consequence, because consequence is like a negative. I mean, just like for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction, right? So everything you decide to do comes with a price. There you go, a price. What is the price, right? So in my case, I had options to do other things, and right at the end of the day, what I'm saying, I decided, you know, this was what I. Then this what I'm doing right now is literally what I decided to do. I got a guy looking at me doing my podcast. What's up, guy? Cafecito time, dog. Be cool. So at the end of the day, I there decided to go do what I'm doing right now, and the price is, I don't know. We'll see. I really, really hope that I chose right. You know what I'm saying? I made the right choice. I hope I made the right choice. I hope that, because everything, there's a con, and there's pros and cons to everything, right? And when I mentioned the wage on the company, that was maybe obviously that was a con, but there's also a lot of pros to that, and I didn't think about the pros, and I just think that the pros for what I'm doing right now outweighs the pros of like a company. So so obviously I decided to do this, and here I am. I'm hoping I decided to do the right thing. That's one. Why did I decide to do what I'm doing right now? Why did I decide this? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty in what I'm doing. How I didn't work, or last week I only did one batch, and, I didn't work for the rest of the week. My family, the house, took a big hit, and that was my decision, right? Because I was, if I would have had a job, but at the same time, I done, I've done pretty good. Like I've had great weeks, throughout 2025, and I've had like 2,000 weeks. I had a couple of those this year already. So it's all about how you put these little shit together. So whenever that happened, my family benefited from that. Believe that. So when I do good, my kids do great. Hell yeah, they are my motivation. They are the reason why I'm out here, and that's why I think that's why I hope that whenever I make decisions, I hope I make the right decisions because my decisions affect my kids. And I definitely want to make sure that I make the right decision. So, so yeah, man. So, anyways, on that note, because I'm still crossing the bridge right now, the Cape Coral. I'm crossing the Cape Coral midpoint, the midpoint bridge. If anybody is watching that lives here in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, I live in Fort Myers in South San Carlos, and I work all over the place, and a lot of times I work at Cape Coral, Pine Island, and so I have to cross this bridge. I'm getting hungry. I was gonna fast. Oh yeah. Anyways, I know it's a long video. It's a long, but it's just Cafecito time, and this is where I'm gonna be sharing my day and my journey. By the way, I'm gonna be sharing my journey with you guys. I don't know if you guys. I hope you guys. I hope I wasn't on mute the whole fucking time I was talking. But anyways, all of that what I said, I'm gonna change the topic, right? Because everything that I just said about my kids, they're my motivation, and how every decision I make, I always hope is the right decision because it's gonna affect them. You know what I'm saying? If I succeed, they succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my goal in life to make sure they that they become as successful as they possibly can. Like that's my job. My job as a parent, my job as a father, is to make sure that they reach their full potential. And I have a plan. I have a plan for my son and for my daughter, my baby girl. I'm still developing that plan for her, but it's coming. It's coming. Yesterday it was our last day on soccer kicks, which I'm gonna be posting a short, YouTube short and a TikTok on that. By the way, yeah, follow me on TikTok, fitness guy. I made a new TikTok, and I wanna do that more. I wanna focus. on fitness on that page on that TikTok. This is just my personal uh, page that I've always done cafecito time on it. So I'm just getting back to cafecito time Fort Myers. So when you see cafecito time Fort Myers, that's me, cuz. Uh, so so because of my kids, like whenever me and my wife got together and decided to have kids, my wife tells me, like, she's always on me as far as fitness goes, because that's one of the me and my wife, one of the things that brought us together was that the fitness side, the fitness side of our life. So, you know, obviously, we have a lot of things in common, me and my wife. That I think that played a part on why we got married and decided to have kids. You know what I'm saying? We both Mexicans, same culture, um, similarities as far as we both have daughters and from previous relationships. So that was one thing we had in common. Obviously, me being older, my daughter's older. I'm 43, my daughter's 21. Uh, my wife is 35, her daughter is 16. Her daughter lives with us. My daughter lives with her mother. Anyway, she's always on me. My wife is always on me, talking about I need to stay in good shape, right? To make sure that I'm there for the kids, to make sure that I see him, I watch him grow up, which I agree. Which like I agree, and again, it's like I expect nothing less from her as far as her pushing me when it comes to fitness, because that's one thing that whenever we got together, that's one thing that we had in common, right? Like, hey, fitness. Like now, I've never like when it comes to fitness, I'm more on the how can I say this? Like I do it because it's necessary. I do it because I know that it enhances your life. It enhances, yeah, your lifestyle basically. So that's why I do it. I don't necessarily like lifting weights. I don't necessarily like running. I like riding my bike. I like riding my bike. I think riding my bike is cool. Like I have a three wheeler that I love getting on my bike and just like pedaling, cruising. Like that's a cool feel. I love that. I love that when especially when I have my kids. When I'm pulling my kids in my bike, I love that right there. So my kids being my motivation in life, like they're like my son. Like, oh man, there's the things that I dreamed about doing that I never did, that I always thought in my head, like maybe, and then maybe I'm making excuses, but in my head I always thought if I had a dad who fucking pushed me to do all this thing, I bet I could have done something. If I had that support, and now that I have my son, bro, I know I'm gonna be that support. You know what I'm saying? Like I know like my son is never what I bitched about, whatever I didn't have as far as support goes, he is going to have it me for sure. You know what I'm saying? So whenever me and my wife got together and decided to have kids, like in my head, I already knew what I wanted to do with my son. You know what I'm saying? Like my son's gonna be a top athlete, and he's gonna be a boxer. And with my guidance and his mother's, because his mother's guidance too. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that, again, going back to on me and my wife when we got together, she's very good with like nutrition and again, fitness. Like we both have knowledge about nutrition and fitness. So we're going to be we're racing now. We are racing two athletes, two top athletes for sure. My son, with my help, with my guidance, he's gonna be, world champ for sure. Aladdin will be a world champion for sure. Promise you that. I promise you that. That's why I gotta take care of myself and make the right decisions. Not just in work, but work is a big part of what I do or what we doing. Because another reason why I choose to do this, and that's another reason why even when things get hard, I push for this to get better. Because doing this, what I'm doing right now, it actually makes me free. It makes me free to do the things that I want to do and make sure that I'm there with my kids. Because right now, I'm only there with my kids to take them to the park, to take them to eat ice cream, like the fun things. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they love daddy because daddy's fun. Yep, that's true. But it's all part of the plan, though. You know what I'm saying? In due time, you know, once they reach a certain age, I'm thinking 7 or 8 for AJ. Start taking them to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Start learning the right skills. But until then, there's still soccer. You know what I'm saying? Because soccer, he just finished soccer. The what do you call it? Soccer shots. It was just a fun thing to do with them. I wanted to see where we're at as far as. I mean, they're so little. AJ's not even 3 yet. He's barely 2. Jenna. So they don't. They're not there yet. I can see the athleticism in both of them, but they are not there as far as like the concept of teamwork, the concept of what it is of like competition. Like it's just so a lot of it's so little, it's so little. And it's a father. I don't like. Oh man, I just what I'm saying, like any other father. You know, in a way, want to rush, but we have to be patient. We have to be patient, and and yeah, man, patience is key. It's gotta be key. You know. So, anyways, going back to making the right decisions, I gotta make the right decisions. Um, Nutrition wise, I have to make sure that I set the example. So I take supplements. I bring my supplements every day. I'm lying. I'm lying. I was doing that for a while, and then I kind of fell off. So I've been trying different things. I've been trying different things. Well, what? Let me start over with this supplement thing. My supplements, right? Because truth is that I've been trying different things as far as when to take my supplement. Right? There was a time where I was working, and I was taking my supplements every day at noon. Like I'll eat lunch, and right after I eat lunch, I'll take my supplements. Um, it was working great for me, and then I tried taking them in the morning. I tried taking them late in the afternoon, like 4 or 5. I don't like taking them later than that because I don't know. I don't know if it affects if it affects my sleep or not. That's kind of what I think about. So I got to make sure that throughout the years I've learned that sleep wise, you have to sleep. You have to sleep. Like it's nothing better than to get you a nice rest because you are as productive as you can possibly be if you get your sleep. So when I was younger, I thought, oh man, I don't have to sleep by so many hours. You know what? Now that I'm older, no, no, get your sleep, get your sleep, and that's why my son is gonna be a champion of the world, because all of these things that I've learned throughout life that I know that makes you a better person, a better man, a stronger man. I'm gonna apply all those things to my son. So my son is gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be him. He is him in due time. So I found out taking my vitamins. I found out that after taking them in the morning, taking them in the afternoon, and taking them in the afternoon or noon, and late in the afternoon, what worked best for me and when I felt the best is when I took them at noon. Now now I don't know, man, because right now I'm fucking hungry, man. I'm hungry, and I wanted to try intermittent fasting. I wanted to try intermittent fasting. I don't know if I can though because I'm hungry. So I'm almost to work. So coming to the end of we're coming to the end of Cafecito time. So I hope everyone enjoy Cafecito time. Today. I'm gonna name this one Cafecito time Fort Myers. So today is the first one of many to come. Again, uh, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna talk about my journey on this fitness. How like working with my son and myself, trying to get back in shape. I want to get a six pack. That's my goal. I want to get a six pack again. Like when I was 30, I'm 43. I want to see if I can have a six pack again. Because in order for me to demand from my son to be great, I think I have to show the example of what great is. You know what I'm saying? I think that if I can achieve that, it'll be a great. If I can do that, then I can demand from him. So real quick before I finish my video, um, so take myself. I want to see, and I'm gonna keep you all updated. Okay, so today or ¿cómo se llama? Sí, okay, and I'm gonna get a case of water, and I'm gonna get case of water, and I'm gonna get what do you call it? A drink, a sweet drink, and I think I'm gonna start taking. Let me see, what's good. You know what? Those what it's called, like the brand is Naked. I don't know if anyone's seen those. Naked, and it's like it's called like Green Machine, and it's supposed to have. It's got a lot of sugar. So if I that right there, if I take that now with my wife made me a lot of food too, man. So I think I'm gonna eat right now. 9 o'clock. Break my fast at 9 before I get to work. I think it's good. I think it's good. So yeah, so I'm gonna probably gonna break my fast with the Naked Green Machine. My wife made me some tacos, some egg tacos for breakfast, and after work, like this is how I go to work, because like I said, I do a lot of repair work, so I go comfortable. So when I'm done, I probably go straight to the gym. And anyways, speaking of the gym, I got a gym partner for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursday, my boy Mike, and hopefully my wife and his son, Keenan, and I think his wife Mary, or not Keenan's wife, Mike's wife Mary. Uh, I think, but for sure, me and Mike. Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're gonna start that. So That's where my new channel, my new TikTok fitness dad. That's where I was. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I want to document my fitness journey on fitness dad on TikTok. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So look out for that. Look out for that. Um, yeah. So all right, YouTube. Peace out, yo. Um, again, cafecito time. Be cool. Don't work too hard out there.